island nation receives assistance after deluge. When heavy rains caused severe flooding across Timor-Leste, the government asked Australia for help. The kindly neighbor supplied $5.4 million in emergency relief. This included personal protective equipment, temporary shelters, essential household items, funds for the Red Cross and other organizations, as well as nutritional assistance through the World Food Programme. Australia is also working to ensure that the Timor-Leste government gets sufficient COVID-19 vaccine doses for its citizens. Australia is a recipient of 5 Shining World Leadership Awards for Compassion and Shining World Leadership Awards for Protection and Good Governance, as well as a laureate of 3 Shining World Leadership Awards for Compassion and Shining World Leadership Awards for Caring, Good Governance, Health Guardian, and High Moral Value. Many thanks, Australia, for taking care of your mates to the north. We pray that the hospitable Timorese people will feel the reassuring embrace of God's love.
Mental health ailments more likely after coronavirus. Researchers at the University of Oxford in the United Kingdom analyzed the health records of more than 236,000 patients who had COVID-19. They found that 1 in 3 survivors was diagnosed with either a psychiatric or neurological condition within 6 months of contracting the respiratory disease. For more severe cases that required hospitalization, the risk of subsequent brain issues was higher at 46%, and 7% of those suffered a stroke. The study's authors report that the most common after effects were anxiety and mood disorders. Although individual risks may be small, commentators have noted that many consequences of COVID-19 appear to be long-lasting, and this could have a substantial impact on health and social care systems globally. We deeply appreciate your research and assessments, university scientists. May humanity band together to overcome the pandemic and unequivocally abandon the consumption of animals. In celestial wisdom.
Islamic teaching complex to be restored. Afghanistan's Ministry of Information and Culture has announced the commencement of rebuilding a 13th century mosque, religious school and monastery in the city of Balkh. The site is believed to have once been owned by Bahundid Walad, a well-known professor of religious sciences and the father of Master Rumi. The facility will be built according to the original architecture, with plans for a museum, library, gardens, and a studio for the unique circling Sama or the universe dance. Master Rumi uniquely used poetry, music, and dance to convey spiritual truths that resonate in the heart. It is anticipated that when the reconstruction is complete, the campus will serve to introduce the poet's life and teachings to many more people. Congratulations to the government of Afghanistan for undertaking this momentous project. We dream that it will spark a renaissance of love for the divine in Allah's boundless grace.
National campaign makes collecting rainwater a priority. On the occasion of World Water Day 2021, His Excellency Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India and a Shining World Leadership Award for Good Governance laureate, launched Jal Shakti Abhiyan, or Catch the Rain. Citizens are being asked to install rooftop rainwater harvesting structures in advance of the monsoon season. States will open rain centers in each district so that people can get technical guidance on catching the rain as it falls. As part of the program, reservoirs and dams will be inspected, water tanks will be cleared of silt, channel obstructions will be removed, and abandoned wells will be repurposed to replenish aquifers. India is a recipient of 2 Shining World Leadership Awards for Compassion and Shining World Leadership Awards for Environmental Protection and Good Governance, as well as a laureate of 3 Shining World Leadership Awards for Compassion, 3 Shining World Leadership Awards for Justice, 2 Shining World Leadership Awards for Peace, and Shining World Leadership Awards for Good Governance and Protection. We salute your forward-thinking leadership, Prime Minister Modi, as you maximize heaven's blessings in the form of precipitation. We pray for the health and happiness of everyone in your noble country in the radiance of the Providence.
2 young brothers experience saving an animal's life. As Dayton and Rylan McMillian of Texas, USA, were taking a walk through the woods near their home, they discovered a collapsed burrow with a raccoon trapped inside. The boys immediately notified their father, and the trio tried to free the distressed animal by digging around him. But progress was slow because there were slabs of buried concrete in the way, so they decided to call the Wild West Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. The experienced volunteers who responded to the call put a catchpole around the furry one's neck and shoulders and were eventually able to lift him out. After a quick check for any injuries, the mammal was released into the wilderness. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to the Macmillans and the crew from the Rehabilitation Center. Your selfless service is exemplary of how we humans should always care for our co-inhabitants in divine mercy. Coming up, luxury fashion brand debuts cactus leather accessories. We will take a moment to be thankful for the convenience of modern indoor plumbing that delivers water for drinking, cleaning, and answering nature's calls.
Fashion company expands collection of vegan styles. Karl Lagerfeld x Amber Valletta is a new range of plant-based accessories featuring bags made from Deserto, a cactus leather. Miss Valletta, a vegetarian supermodel and sustainability advocate, was a friend of the late Mr. Lagerfeld, who achieved global fame as a creative director and designer. His company is excited to be collaborating with the activist on new products that have a minimal carbon footprint. For example, its green and black cake cushion bags are made from cactus that do not require herbicides or pesticides. The sandy-hued version uses 90% recycled cotton, colored with organic pigments. Miss Valletta says, "If we can change fashion, we can change a lot of things and make people conscientious of the way they shop." Kudos to Karl Lagerfeld and Amber Valletta for your pioneering partnership. In heavenly upliftment, may all manufacturers champion animal rights in their business models and practices.
Bald eagle populations keep on growing. The national bird of the United States has made a remarkable comeback since 1963, when there were only 417 known nesting pairs. Pressure on the species was greatly relieved when the synthetic insecticide DDT was banned in 1972. Ensuing decades of protection efforts succeeded in boosting the bird's numbers to a little over 72,000 in 2009. Recently, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service published its 2020 population update. Using aerial surveys and the eBird online database, the agency was able to estimate there are now at least 316,700 bald eagles. This is a greater than fourfold increase since the previous survey and covers the 48 lower states of America. Our hearts are touched, caring conservationists, by your determination to save these majestic birds. We pray that the sacred bond between humans and wildlife continues to strengthen under God's watchful gaze.